Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts.
So this is where the ghosts live, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see, let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel.
Gross.
Nothing.
Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts, there's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah, bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lungs, please? And thank you, are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test.
Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested.
Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
Ah! I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake.
I think
Jake
we found
do
the
that?
ghost. Jake won't let you see your mentions. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism! And they say they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah, you're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett, when you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch
Street Fighters. How you doing? It's that time of the week. It's Wednesday night, time for a street fight. A little bit earlier than usual, but we're happy that you're here. If you can watch along on the live stream, we're on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Head over to twitch.tv/streetfightradio. You can get access to the bonus Twitch emojis and all that other fun stuff, and also use your free Amazon Twitch subscription to send us a couple bucks. We are the #1 anarcho comedy radio show on any station across the nation, and we've been doing it for a while, long while, and we've built a great community of people that listen to the show, and we're glad that you're a part of it, or giving it a chance, or you've been listening for a long time. If you ever want to reach out to us, we're on social media. We're Street Fight WCRS on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or you can send an email to streetfightradio@gmail.com, or head over to streetfightradio.com. There is a contact form there if you want to get a hold of us. We'll let you know. This is the last week to get the pre-order for the Learn Worm All Connected t-shirt. We're doing a fundraiser for Prison Health News. You might have missed it, but last week I did a special bonus episode with Susie Subways, their main organizer there for Prison Health News. And you can hear us talk about the organization and the challenges that are faced with the prison population and COVID this year. So head over to store.streetfightradio.com where you can get the access to the pre-order. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, every single Patreon subscriber always gets 20% off in the Street Fight store. I just sent that code out today, so check your messages. It's in there. How's it going, Brian?
Good. I had a big day today. I had a Mcsweeney's article come out about me.
Yeah.
That is makes me feel intelligent.
Yeah, I was jealous.
Yeah. You should have got a job at Chuck E. Cheese. Actually, there might be a Mcsweeney's article about Brett Payne in the future. I know that I turned the interviewer on to you as a person who's had a lot of shitty jobs too. Mm-hmm. So the person that did the interview, I got to get the name again. She was a fan of Street Fight and was very kind to me and made me look really good in that piece. Suzanne Yeagley. So,
oh my God, the last sentence of that interview where you just said, "I always learn the wrong lessons from things," was the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, well,
at least you know yourself.
Brought that up in that, like, I saw Boys in the Hood when I was 12 years old, and when I left, the first thing I said was, "We got to start a gang." Like, and that is not the lesson from that movie. That is the wrong lesson. And like, I never learned the right lessons from anything. So, that was a really fun thing to do. It's fun to talk about working at Chuck E. Cheese because, I don't know, it's a job that like guys like me wouldn't usually expect to have, if that makes sense. You know, like there's not a lot of like loser guys like me that were heading to Chuck E. Cheese to work.
Yeah, I do think about it, and I can't imagine putting you in charge of a kid's birthday party.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, maybe me now might because kids like me, like all kids think I'm like a great dude.
True.
And they like hanging out with me. I just had a conversation with Charlotte right before this show about her. Brett did something that not even me, not even the softest dad on the planet did. Elf on a Shelf, which is, I said no to it straight up. My kid was like, "I want Elf on a Shelf," and I was like, "Well, you're not gonna fucking get it because Elf on a Shelf isn't a thing." Is what I said. Yeah. She's like, "No, it's a thing." And I'm like, "No, it's not. That is new. That is made in the past 10, 20 years or whatever. That is not a Christmas thing that exists. You get a Christmas tree, you get Christmas presents, Santa Claus, all that stuff. You can have all that old stuff. Yeah. You know? No, we're not adding a new thing. You know? Yeah. And then she was telling me about Elf on a Shelf, and I was like, damn, I can't believe they got Brett to do Elf on a Shelf. The next thing you know, he's going to be telling me he's taking her to Disney World.
Yeah, I gotta do. I don't know. I love Christmas. I don't mind Christmas. I don't think it's bad. I'm not convinced that it's a bad thing. I mean, I think that it's you should give something to your friends. Like, you should show nice things to your friends. My daughter got turned on to Elf on the Shelf from school.
Yeah, mine too.
Fucking school had one, and she thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I'm up all night, which means I can move the elf around before I go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, Gwen heard about it from school too. This is like when Katie was like, we got to take Gwen to Disney World. And I'm like, no, we don't. That's like saying we got to take the kid to the mall. That is some capitalist shit. And we never did. She'll go, I'm sure, in her lifetime if she finds it important to go do fucking Disney World. But I'm not going to be the one that did it. No. That is, not every kid gets to go to Disney World. That's not like a thing, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it could be, but it should be.
I mean, it should be if Disney World should be a public works project, really, where, yes, we pay for a family to go to Disney World, especially
every family.
with how much we're like subsidizing Disney World at this point. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
It should be like the Smithsonian museums.
Yeah.
Like, it should just be, I'm actually an American, so I just get to come in here.
They make every single movie. You know?
They control our entire creative lifestyle, like our entire myth making, all of the biggest movies.
So me and Katie are watching movie series that we had missed in the past. You know, I just finished Alien last week, and, you know, we were maybe going to do Star Trek. We were maybe going to do James Bond. But what we landed on was Friday the 13th.
Ooh, so much better than those other two.
I know. We really fucking pulled it out because we're on part 3. We'll probably watch part 3 tomorrow. And part 1 and 2 were just a joy. It's simply a joy to sit and watch together. You know, we watched Alien, and other than number one calling them aliens,
yeah,
Eliants, there's an alient coming.
Oh no, the aliens!
Oh no, not an alient. But you know, we weren't yelling during them. That's not to say they were bad movies. Yeah. I think I liked all of them. You know, I enjoyed every single one of them. My favorite one was Covenant, which I got yelled at for.
Not popular.
You know what, though? Alien Covenant is more my speed of a movie. You know, if you're looking for suspense and all that stuff, probably aren't going to like Alien Covenant. You know,
it's in your face.
Yeah. I like in-your-face ass shit.
Well, you told me you made a bunch of... You mentioned that... the old Alien movies looked like somebody shaking a rubber baby doll.
Yes.
And you, like in Alien Covenant, that you can see the whole body running around.
Yeah, you see it running around. And it looks cheesy as shit in Alien Covenant, too. But it's funny to see. And it just, that kind of stuff. There is a thing with me where it's like, if something can be funny, even if it's supposed to be serious, and I'll like it. You know, that's why choosing Friday the 13th was such a smart move, because I don't think they were trying to make a serious movie, but I don't think they were trying to make something as funny as those movies come off as in the end. You know, they're probably trying to scare people too.
Yeah. I don't know how that's hard to say. I agree though that the best way to watch them is the only way to watch them with his friends. Like, you're supposed to be yelling at the screen. Yeah. This is a time of yelling at the screen, putting in comments, which is my favorite thing to do. I mostly I like to watch movies by myself and be very quiet, and I put my chin on my fist and I think about them. But if I'm watching somebody else with somebody else, I'm like, man, look at this motherfucker's clothes. Look at this shit. Look at those shoes.
That's the whole movie.
What is that fucking hair?
It's like, you know who I hate in the Friday the 13th movies more than anything is the smart-ass kid.
Really?
Yeah, I always want the smart-ass kid to get killed. I was so mad at the end of Friday the 13th, too, that the smart-ass kid didn't get killed. I know that's a spoiler. that I was just like, oh, I hope I had to search to see if he was in part 3.
Right.
Just hoping he gets killed.
His comeuppance.
Yeah, comeuppance for being a smart
Right.
aleck.
Right.
You know, that's really what it is like these smart aleck kids are the worst.
Yeah.
Because they're what an adult thinks a smart aleck teen is. Because smart aleck teens aren't smart.
No, they're pitiable.
Yeah, I mean that's why a lot of teens use slurs and stuff like that. Is because you're not clever enough to do something a little, or compound cusses. They call people fuck waffles and stuff like that because they're not as good at like cutting to the core of people.
Yeah.
And it was just, I hate that smart mouth kid. I hate it. And I hope he gets killed in every one of the movies.
That'd be great.
The thing that happened after part 1 was now we try to figure out who the girl that survives is going to be. Like it's
Is it
just at the
chosen
beginning
one?
of the movie and it's like, got it. I figured it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also like whenever someone sneaks away to go have sex, I'm like, Jason doesn't like that.
No, Jason hates that shit.
He wants you to save yourself till marriage.
The first 2 movies are so funny to me because it's like these kids come to a town and they're like, I gotta go to this camp. I just gotta get there. And everybody's like, don't go to the camp, you know? Look, people get killed at this camp. I don't know why. You know, you got to think about the city, like their inner lives when it's not happening, where they're just like, I don't know why. I mean, it's just anytime somebody's there, they get killed.
Yeah.
You just like it if you didn't go there, because
Yeah.
you know, people don't like to come to a place where people get killed. You know, and then like in the second one, they're like, oh, we opened a camp on the other side of the lake.
Right.
It's like, okay. And then they're like, just don't go over there where all the people got killed. And these damn teenagers are like, we got to get over there to where all those people got killed.
Let's go dig up some bodies.
Yeah, it reminds me of Geemer, which was in my neighborhood. There was a creek, actually, that we would go play in, right? But there was a house on the other side of it. And this house was behind, there were trees. You know, I had never seen a house in the woods in my life. You know, I thought those were just things on TV. And we go to play and we see this house in the woods and we're immediately, some guy's like, there's a Geemers there. And he will fucking kill you and take you in the house.
Geemer.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
I don't know where they came up with it at all, but I was
It's like Geen and Dahmer together, kind of.
Maybe. And I was just like, well, I don't want to fuck with Geemer. You know what I mean? But then we were sneaking around this person's house and stuff.
Trying to look in the windows.
Trying to
see if you saw anybody strung up on fucking hooks.
But he would have came and yelled at us, and then it would have like just made more Geemer rumors. We would have been like, Geemer yelled at us, and we lived.
He's fucking angry, dude.
Yeah.
There was a house we used to bother by our creek too.
Yeah. It's because when you grow up in the suburbs, man, you don't see houses in the woods. You just don't.
No.
And if you don't travel, if you don't camp, if you don't go to log cabins to spend your vacation times, you just have never seen a house in the woods with that many trees around it. It's not even in the woods because it's in the suburbs, right? But you don't ever see a house surrounded by trees. And like once you see that, you're like, somebody's killing somebody in there. That's just every movie I've seen indicates that somebody's killing somebody in that house. So I like the Jasons, which that's what people from Groveport call it, actually.
They are the
Where
Jasons.
I'm from, you call them Jasons and Freddys.
The Jason series.
And then you call Halloween, though. It doesn't have the same naming convention. You don't call those Michael Myerses.
No.
Because Michael Myers has 2 names. So does Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, but you mostly are like, I'm going to watch all the Jasons, I think. I've seen all the Jasons. I've seen all the Freddys. You know, I have seen all the Freddys. I will have seen all the Jasons once I get to part 7.
Jason gets good. I mean, I think that Jason is the best of the series. I think Freddy falls apart. I think Halloween has a bunch of spotty stuff.
Freddy rules.
For a couple of them. But the middle ones, like after 4,
Nope.
I don't know.
Don't say part 5 because I'll tell you why. Don't say bad stuff about the Dream Child. That is the first movie I ever made out with my wife watching.
Well, that doesn't. You're not allowed to use that as like evidence
That's why
that
part
it's
5
good.
is good. Because I was making out with my wife while I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street 5. I was like, isn't this movie great? I met the woman of my dreams after watching wrestling and yelling at her.
Great.
And then saying, like, let's watch Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5.
Make up.
And then we smooched a little bit.
Great.
You know, that was just the way it was. So, I don't know. I would be interested. The reason I brought up the movie series thing is because, like, Katie was like, let's watch all of the Marvels in chronological order.
You did that in the theaters, didn't you?
I did. She did. I have seen them all. And that's why I say you don't want to do that. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth, Kate. You do not. And plus it has the TV shows in that she wants to do that chronological thing where you like watch it in the order of stuff that happened, not in release order. Okay, and I just was like, nah,
you don't. 20 movies?
It's I think 28 plus
no,
4 or 5 seasons of TV shows too. It's just a lot of movies, and I was just like, you're not gonna like it, you know. You're not gonna want to sit down and watch Age of Ultron. It's like a terrible movie.
My wife loved them all.
Yeah, really?
She went on that endeavor. I went to the library. I got all the movies and put them on Plex for her, but I could not. I tried but couldn't.
They're just all too close to the same. That's why the Jasons are fun. They're all different.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's also why I like the Alien movies. I do like the thing of like it just being several people's visions and not just one person's vision.
Right.
You know? It's
taking
like,
a crack at it. Really taking a crack at it. When it comes, I mean, on all these franchises are like, in reality, like never should be. Like there's no reason to have like a dozen of any of these, but you can just kind of pass it on to the next person. And there's enough people. I'm ready to see the next Freddy or Jason or Mikey Myers, whatever it is.
I mean, that is actually my fantasy for us. Like a big fantasy for me is for me and you to get handed some intellectual property and get to build lore off of it. You know what I mean? Like I've said that I would love it if me and you could do the Dukes of Hazzard remake or the other big dream. And this sucks that this is actually getting made, so it's not possible. But He-Man. I would love it if me and you got to write He-Man and just like be the people that put this movie together, because it just, and I know that's not going to happen, but it's just a fantasy I have of like being like, oh, I'd love to build onto this. Yeah. Marvel, on the other hand, doesn't seem fun to build onto at all to me. If they said you can make the next Jason and it's part of the original timeline, that would be fucking incredible to do. It would be so fun to do something like that. But
Jason in Space, dude.
I can't wait.
Them fucking nano.
I've seen
nano bees or whatever. Oh yeah, you said you saw 7 on.
I saw 7 on. Yeah, 7 and 7, 8, 9, 10, and Jason Goes to Hell. Well, Jason Goes to Hell is 9. Yeah, I saw the Freddy's like as they came on HBO. I really liked. The only one I don't like, and this is. I don't like part 2, and I know that has had like a reclamation project over the years, but I just don't like it because it's not part of the same sort of timeline. It's not like canon, you know? And I don't like the new Nightmare. I think the new Nightmare.
Oh, I like New Nightmare.
Yeah, you're a horror movie guy though, so you might have a better. I
like that when I was a kid. I don't know if it's good or not. It's just that's one that I liked when I was a kid.
Freddy looks cooler in it because he wears a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a couple stories that we can cover this week. I didn't read this one, but it sounds exactly like something we should cover. So I thought we would go into this blind and see what happens here.
All right, I like the idea.
A Texas waitress says she was thrilled to receive $2,000 tip on a bill, only to find out from the restaurant that she won't take home a single cent.
Fuck.
Emily Bauer. Yeah, Emily Bauer had only been a server for about 2 weeks when she was scheduled for a busy Sunday shift at Red Hook Seafood and Bar in San Antonio. News station KVUE reported. While working all the tables, she kept apologizing to a man seated in her section for being slow. He was like, I understand. He also mentioned he owned restaurants, so he knew how hard it was to be a server, Bauer said. He was like, just cancel everything and give me the ticket. So I said, okay, I gave him the ticket. Bauer said she didn't notice until he had left that he had given her a $2,000 tip and wrote a note that said, Merry Christmas, keep working hard. I was like, wait, I just opened it up and started crying. I was like, oh my God, my kids. I'm going to spend it all on my kids, said Bauer, who has...
don't do that. Don't tell me. Oh, man.
2 sons, a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. I was like...
I'm going to get my gun. I'm going to start loading and cleaning my gun right now. Why do you do this?
This is a small business tyrant story.
Well, you know, I have to say I've heard mention of this, but sometimes if there's a tip over $100 and stuff, they've had people call and verify. They've made customers come back to like say in person that they were going to give this much as a tip to this person and
That's
all
not
that.
What this was.
But
This
no.
was- yeah.
But I'm saying no. There is a limit on the tips. I have to. No, what I'm saying is that if you're a server and if you've been around for a while, you know that if you get tipped too much, it'll be a problem. I think. If someone leaves you $500, you're like, fuck, how am I going to get this out the door?
If
It's not cash, if it's in the computer, if it's in Kronos or the micro system or whatever it is,
Yeah.
that money is, who knows if you get it.
Yeah, when you write it on, I need to, when the world gets back to normal, I need to start leaving the money. I need to start bringing cash and leaving it on the table.
Absolutely.
Because they get it at that point. Instead of when you write it down, who knows what that restaurant's going to do.
Also, when it's entered into the system, it's taxable now. Now
Yeah.
it's income. When it's cash, it's just who knows how they got that.
Yeah, and also they probably don't get to touch it until payday. When, like, my understanding with tips is that you'd rather just get those at the end of the shift.
Right.
You know? Like
I'd rather just take this money home.
That's what makes working a tipped wage. That's why there are people who swear by living by tips, because they get, $50 at the end of a day. I don't know what a regular tip day is because I've only had tip jar jobs, and that's about $8.
Yeah. Well, it can be high.
Huh?
It can definitely be high.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I just opened. So she had a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. I was like, oh my God, I've never had a Christmas where I've been able to splurge on them.
Oh God, you're breaking my heart, lady.
Yeah. This sucks.
Can we hook her? We have to figure out how to hook her up.
I just splurged on Gwen this year, and I've complained about it on the show. Maybe not on Street. I have somewhat on Street Vibe, but on the POD cast, I just, but I'm joking because it actually feels good. And also the thing I got her was, I see as a parental responsibility. I don't see it as something, it's not a sexy present. It is, I got her a MacBook Pro. It is like in that she probably didn't need the Pro, but I don't know if I've said this on show, but I'm just going to say it. I think that when you send your kid out into the world, in the times we live in now, you send them with a computer and a car. And like, that's 2 things that I feel like they need. Like, I just feel like kids need a computer now and they need a car. And like, I'm not going to send my kid out in the world without those 2 things. That's my requirements as a parent. When you turn 18, it's part of handing over their life to them is also saying like, you have a computer, figure it out, do I don't know, do a podcast. I don't fucking know.
Right. Research how to do it.
But I splurged, and it feels really genuinely in my mind. It feels so good.
I agree.
Like, it feels good to have gotten, year after year, I have been escalating in the amount of money that I make as my jobs. I made a lot of money not a lot, but I made good money at the cable company, decent money. And I was still very broke at that time because I don't know. I guess I just didn't understand I still kind of don't understand, but I understand better how to keep money in the house, But I didn't have enough to give good Christmas very early on, which, I mean, until they're like 10, they don't really want anything that expensive. You know, once they get 10, 11, 12, they start being like, I want an iPhone, you know, I want an iPad.
Yeah.
They don't quite understand early on. They just want as many toys as they can get their hands on, which you can do very cheaply if you're a parent with young kids. But it has escalated over the years. I mean, there was one year where I was so broke, right? This is going to sound so bad. This is going to show how bad I am financially. I was so broke that I got her an iPhone because I knew I wouldn't have to put money down on it.
Because you could just sign up for monthly payments?
That was it. When she got her first phone, that's what it was. It was like, yeah, we got...
This is the only present you get this year. It's a lot, okay? It's a big one, sister.
Yeah, that's a bummer about being... That is one of the things about having a teenager, is that, like, she knows what she's getting because she wanted to go pick it out. And it was like, all right, fine.
Well, that's how you run your house.
Well, she wouldn't have got a Pro. I don't know. This was a conversation we had where it said, like, listen, I want to get you a computer for Christmas, okay? And I know that you want a MacBook, and it is very important for you to have a MacBook. If you want that, this is it. This is all. It's a lot of money. And now Katie's already bought her more presents.
Got to.
I'm going to get her some band t-shirts, so she'll get a little more, but... I was like, oh my God, okay. So, but she said her excitement was quickly dashed when the restaurant told her it can't process a tip larger than $500.
There you go.
Other servers suggested that the restaurant give her 4 separate tips of $500, but the seafood joint refused, KVUE reported. It is unclear why the restaurant couldn't process the $500 of the $2,000 tip to give to Bauer in line with its limits. So, they also won't even give her $500. They're not giving her anything.
They won't give her any of it?
Yeah, I don't think it's our responsibility as a server to say, oh, you can't tip me that much. I'm sorry. Oh, no, there's a limit. I'm sorry, Bauer said.
We should chase him down in the parking lot. Sir, you gave too much money.
Yeah.
No, we don't accept that kind of largesse at this seafood establishment.
Yeah, that's the fucking runs counter to tips. That runs counter to giving tips. You know?
Yeah, I honestly, and also as somebody that wants to do something like this at some point, it's really limiting, you know? Like when I look at the tweet box, it's like you can write whatever you want into this thing and just press send. The tip box is the same way. You could write whatever number in the world that you want on there. Nothing is limiting you there. But then you find out there's rules, and now it's like, I want to break the rules.
I do want to tip $2,000 someday.
Someday.
I hope I get rich someday and I can be the type of guy that's like, hey, or even $500 would be amazing. You know, where it's just like you go out to eat. I mean, Brett, to be fair, with Street Fight money on tour has given some pretty intense tips.
That's true.
And it does feel very good to leave knowing like that server was like, damn, those people were nice.
Yeah.
They weren't a pain in the ass at all. They apologized when they felt they were being a pain in the ass, and they tossed me a large tip.
$100.
$100. Yeah. I'm sure they felt great about it because me and you work so hard to. That's one of the things I like about touring with you, especially, is that like we work ultra hard to be friendly to service workers, where it's like, I just want to be the best customer you had today. I want to leave and I want you to be like, now that was a customer. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I want to be a bright spot on your day or a neutral spot on your day.
You're right.
I mean, because you can't always be great.
No. I can't. Yeah, we're not doing. Like, I'm only doing that because it's silly and it's fun. I don't have the time to regularly do that.
But you want to be a neutral spot on somebody's day at the very least. You want to be just one of the customers that came through and didn't give them any issues.
Dude, there's a group of guys that hang around the post office where our P.O. box is now. And I have this rule where if somebody asks me for money, I'll just give them the bill that's in my wallet, and they got me for $80 there was 4 of them, and I was like heading to somewhere where I had a lot of cash on me and just got totally rinsed.
Yeah, that's great. Atlanta, I remember Atlanta. How much we spent. Yeah, the restaurant is not commenting on it.
So they're not giving her anything at this point. Do we know where did it at least go back? Did it go back to the customer, or the
customer knows?
So they had somebody at their restaurant that likes the place, likes the employee enough to tip them, and now they've dragged them into like a dispute, basically.
Yeah.
Imagine you're the fun-loving person that went to a restaurant. You've got $2,000 to give away as your like secret Santa this year, and now you're like, oh fuck! It's like no good deed is unpunished, right?
Right. Yeah. That's a flub for people. Brett didn't hear it, but there was a flub.
You flubbed?
There. Yeah, I went to the news site to see if there was an update on the story, and a goddamn autoplay video played. I guess I could mute my computer while I'm looking at news stories, since so many news sites do that to you. They just pop a fucking video up. Yeah, that's sad though,
wild
man.
In the chat, they're calling you flubber. They're saying flub.
Are they really? Are they chanting flub in the chat? Because I'm taking that as a chant.
Yeah, Cesspool said flub, all caps. Same with JJ Sanders.
Chris
Dr.
James.
Pixie Dog is in is a flub head.
Oh, no flub heads. They don't exist.
Hey, you know what? Cesspoolism is right, though. They said flub in, flub out, right?
Yeah.
I got to do one. I got to fuck something up. You got me on a computer, man. I want to be in.
Somebody, I said because I bought the TV so I could stream in my office at the house. And I was like, I would never call it a man cave because, frankly, I find it embarrassing. When
we hate those.
Yeah.
No, it was very early. We bonded on that because it was like, why would I go to one room in my own fucking house?
Yeah.
Like, why? It's like a dog house.
So,
like, why? If I bought this fucking house, why is there only one room that I hang out in and decorate? What the fuck is going on here?
So some sick bastard says, why don't you call it the Flub Hut? And I was like, that's not what it is, though. It's not a hut.
Flub Club?
No, it's fucking gonna be called the guys, gals, and non-binary pals cave. It's my cave.
For the cave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and play in the Flub Hut.
GGNBPCAVE.
Yeah, it's just really it's the Tony Hawk room now.
Okay,
where I go to play Tony Hawk. USA Today runs an article every day
Club
or week.
Flub.
No,
I like that.
No, it's called Brian's room, but it's not just my room. Other people can come in, obviously. So USA Today does an article in their newspaper.
Wait, are we done with the tip?
That's the whole thing. There's nothing else to report.
So the story is a woman went to her job for 2 weeks, thought she got a $2,000 tip, cried about it because she thought she would give her kids everything they ever wanted, and the restaurant said that you're not getting it, and we're not going to talk to anybody.
Shit in your hat.
Oh my god! I'm going to see if I can try to do something to get her something for Christmas.
I think we might be able to do that.
I'll look. I'll see if nobody else has stepped in. This is just a tragedy.
Sure a million people have stepped in.
You never know.
This point. I hope. So they do HR questions on USA Today, and I saw this earlier, and I'm going to ask you the question, and then we're going to try to figure out what an HR associate would say, what we would say, and probably have a little fun just kind of talking about this
let's
sort
have
of
fun.
thing. Yeah,
let's have a little fun if you don't mind.
Question. Remember that song? Funk that. Do you remember that one?
It sounds familiar.
Man, funk that. Get out of my face. He would be like, question before everything.
What is it?
It would be like, question. You want me to play funk that? Because I'll play a second of it, and it's here.
But who was
Sadat.
Oh, that song was sick. That was a really good song. Play it. Hook him up with it.
I'm getting it.
That was a good song. I haven't heard this in forever.
Sagat. All right, here we
They're
go.
gonna copyright flag the video, which is fine. Come. Hell yes.
We just play a few seconds.
Question. Why is it that every time I'm walking down the street, somebody wants to stop me just to give me a flyer? Come on, man. Want that?
All right.
My way.
Yes.
Question. I remember that from Beavis and Butthead. So, because
That's
Beavis
what
kept
it
going,
was.
question.
They said this is the flub anthem now.
Funk that?
Yeah, funk that's a good. I'm into it.
Man, funk that.
I loved that when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. Question. My company is moving forward with their annual holiday party and is strongly encouraging everyone to attend. In normal times, I would be excited.
This is 2020.
What?
This is 2020.
Yeah. However, the vaccine remains unavailable and I don't want to be around large crowds. How do I politely decline, but also not make it seem like I'm not aligned with the company culture? This is the position we're putting people in. This is the position people are in when it comes to their workplace now.
Yeah. And the answer is you're not a part of the company culture.
Yeah.
You're an outsider. If they're going to go all do it, they're going to talk about you like you're a weak ass or something.
You know what you should say when they ask you to go and they're like, are you not a part of the company culture? You should be like, man, funk that. That's what
Don't
you
know
should
exactly. Question. Why are we getting in this building when there's Corona? Man, funk that.
How much of this do you think is going on?
Honestly, it has to be a lot. I mean, I know people that have jobs that their boss doesn't believe in it, and they have to kind of police it themselves. They don't let anybody in their office. People have to just stand at the door while they talk to them, type thing. I don't know if I really don't know. I would say that if I'm me right now, I would just take the heat. But if you're young and you need the job or you're trying to get something out of this or it's an opportunity, I would set a timer on my phone for 15 minutes because that's the amount of exposure that you don't want to go over. I would go in there and I would make appearances to everybody.
Mask up too.
Masked, put on a mask, say hi to everybody, dip, dip, dip. By the time everybody's drinking or whatever, nobody knows what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you can always, I mean, the best thing about it, I think, sometimes to get out of, like, when I was habitually saying no to stuff or not doing things, I would be like, I gotta go. So I would go for 5 minutes and then leave, because then it was like I tried.
And nobody will remember you left.
Right.
You're totally right about that thing where it's like, oh, I'll roll in there for 5-10 minutes, and that is the same as being there for 5 hours. You don't get extra credit.
You don't.
You know.
I mean, yeah, the office party gets regretful eventually. Like, you don't want to be there too long.
Yeah.
You're going to see your coworkers in the light that you don't want to. People act so crazy. Company parties, this might be a good year to chill on those things, because we got to rethink what we think about that shit.
Yeah, they did a holiday party every year at the cable company. It was formal.
Formal? At the cable company.
I swear to God, dude. I swear to you on my life. It was formal.
Brian,
it wasn't tuxedo.
Yeah, but
it was like
no jeans.
Put a tie on,
no jeans. Formal means no jeans.
Slacks. Yeah.
Slacks.
Formal.
What do you think? I go to church or something?
Yeah. Exactly. I came in wearing jeans.
I'm a cable person. I chose this job so I would never have to buy those clothes. So I don't have to ever go to a Jose bank or anything.
Yeah, me and yes, exactly. You don't fucking you don't do cable with a suit on.
No.
What if how do you, I don't think it's even fair that you get to pretend like I should own a suit. Because what the fuck? I don't need a suit. Guess what? Listeners, I don't own a suit. And to tell you the truth, I never have owned a suit in my entire life.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, and honestly, this is, well, they don't think they'll listen. I don't own a suit. I've never owned a suit. Someone asked me to do their wedding, and it was like, that means I have to buy a suit. Like, you're making me buy a suit.
Yeah.
And I'm also not a person that's comfortable just buying the cheapest suit that you can get.
Nope.
You know,
Nope.
like I'm going to feel miserable if I roll up in that place.
Exactly.
Wearing the cheapest suit I can find.
Ill-fitting.
Right.
Like showing up in an ill-fitting
It was ill-fitting.
suit.
Mine was ill-fitting.
That's humiliating.
I hated it.
The thought of it is humiliating.
Some grandmama came up to me and talked to me about tailoring after. She was like, "If you brought in these shoulders right here," and I'm like, "I already know, and I'm already a few $100s deep on this fucking thing." Lady, I'm not stupid. I'm not like a stupid dumb dude. I'm just somebody that knew that I should not be into this shit.
I shouldn't be doing
You should have seen me in my best gear. I would have fucking razzle-dazzled you.
Yeah.
If you let me dress how I want, you would have been really impressed. But I had to come out here and do the gray fucking suit, white undershirt thing.
Oh my God. I would never. I just, if you want me to do your wedding, you're just
it's
getting
hoodie.
me in whatever I'm wearing.
Right, whatever I wear for that day, really.
Yeah. Yeah. A hoodie and cargo pants, probably. Yes. That is what you're getting out of me. That's the only suit. So also, like, it's odd to think about not wanting to be aligned with the company culture. And I'll tell you why.
I don't know.
No, I'm saying this for me.
Okay.
This is personally an odd thing. I never wanted to be a part of the company culture. I just, even when I got that job at the cable company, even when I got hired there and I thought this is going to be my career, I never had the desire to be part of the company culture. Now, after years of doing Street Fight, especially, after years of doing Street Fight, I fully 100% realized that kept me from moving up in the company and being satisfied.
You're bad at jobs, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And like the reason I was never satisfied is because I was never like in the company culture.
But that also shouldn't be a requirement.
No.
Like for me, I can be a part of a company culture, but I'm doing it as a snake. I'm doing it cynically. Like, I'm buying minutes with you so, like, right now at this company party, I'm going to drink and smoke your one cigarette for the year on the patio with you, with my boss, for 90 minutes because I'm going to steal an extra couple $100 over the next couple months and I need you out of my hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also felt resentment towards having to be a part of the after hours thing. They were doing mandatory overtime on us, and then it was like, hey, we're all going to VIP lounge if you want to hang. And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Because everybody that's going to VIP lounge is also the ones that get the best worksheets, that also get the coaching jobs, that also get all of these extra things. Like, we see what's everybody sees what's happening here. Everybody knows who gets preferential treatment.
It's interesting because I think in my mind, I thought that was because like they had fully bought in because they had gotten moved up in the company, right? Like when I was doing it.
Yeah.
It was like, the reason the leads and the supervisors and like the more well-liked employees got invited to things is because they are higher up and it's like a higher echelon of socializing.
Yes.
Right? And I did get invited to go to the bar when I first started, right? Like, they just all kind of thought I was an interesting guy at the place because I was different from the other people. I was like into middle-brow movies and, into my own music or whatever I was into at the time. Bands they'd never heard of, And they invited me to go out and they were like, oh, this guy's funny. He's really fun to be around. And within a month, I just decided to do it. I just said, okay. I actually, what I'll tell you is they called me on the Nextel. And this is the same kind of problem this person had. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine who incidentally had worked at the company for about a year. Okay. and he got me the job there. And they were like, "Hey, Brian, what are you doing?" They nexteled me. And I was like, "Oh, I'm hanging out with my buddy." I didn't say who it was. I just said I was hanging out with my buddy. And they were like, "Hey, why don't you come to Snuffy's?" And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go to Snuffy's. I don't drink. You know what I mean? I just don't want to do it. And they were like, "Oh, just remember, it's your supervisor and your lead that are calling you, asking you to come out for a drink. Maybe you should." And I said, "All right, I'll be there." And then me and Katie went there and hung out. And like now that feels very insidious to me. But I also became the lead like 3 months in. And it was, I think, just because I hung out with those people.
A lot of that stuff is who they want to have around. Well,
Yeah.
but like, so my wife, who is just as argumentative as I am, had a job when we moved back to Columbus. She found a job at this place. It was a design firm, but very different than what she's used to. It was a mom and pop place.
Oh,
meaning
small
that
business.
Husband and wife owned it. And she kept coming home and saying, I was telling, David that these drawings, like, were missing these details. And I told, Cheryl that her elevations here were lacking. And I showed them how to do all this stuff. And I'm like, I was like, you need to stop doing that. And she was like, well, but we need to do better stuff. And I'm like, you need to do whatever they tell you to do. And it just kept building because then she kept having arguments. She kept getting to do the stuff. And I'm like, I love you. I respect your opinion. They don't. Don't. You just follow their orders. This is what the company culture is. And, she's still friends with some of the people that work there. And I actually talked to one, too, because she was pretty cool. She's like of the punk rock class of like 10 years above me because everybody in Columbus knows each other around the same age. And she is just very dutiful. She's not there to put any pizzazz or personality on anything. She's there to do whatever that woman tells her. And the office is literally split up between women and men. Like the women, she worked for the wife on the wife's side of the office, and the husband had the men's side of the office.
Did they explain that?
No, it was never said. It was just the teams, but it was very
obvious.
Yes, that was the teams. But I was like, there's just you're not going to fit in here. They're not looking for people that want to switch things up or make more money or achieve. Like they don't want people to go up in the company because you're not going to replace them. No. And they don't want to pay you more.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Do you want to? Let's see how this Ask the HR department answered this question, because I'm curious. I like to learn about what's going on in the brains of human resources.
Yeah.
It's very important for all of us. Yes, you may absolutely RSVP no to your...
I flubbed! I just flubbed.
Brett flubbed.
Somebody sent me an autoplay video.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like the server's taken care of. Yes, you may absolutely RSVP no to your company's holiday party, with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention still advising against large gatherings. Not attending this event could be the safe and smart thing to do. First, I want to be clear. Whether it's a sick family member, prior engagements, or a last-minute schedule conflict, it's not unheard of for employees to miss corporate gatherings, even when they're encouraged to attend.
Yeah. I mean, I think you'll be fine. I also, it might not be held against you, but you just, if you weren't there for the epic story, everyone's just going to remember like, oh yeah, you weren't at the Christmas party, man. It was fucking amazing. You should have seen when Jeff fell into that plant.
I think if your boss is a chud,
yeah, that's true. They want to know.
Because I don't think bosses that aren't chuds are having parties this year.
Yeah, this is very extreme. If the company that you're working at, if they're having a COVID party, you're probably not. You should just find something else.
Yes.
It's not going to work out.
Yes. And so this is what this HR person says, okay? But before you decline, classic human resources. Consider asking your employer or HR department how they intend to implement and maintain social distancing and other safety measures during the party. That's an interesting thing to say because they would hate it if you did that. If you work at a small business or if you work for a chud or if you even just... I think that this has been a hard thing for me to handle too. I think this has been one of the hardest COVID things to handle is you don't want to feel like you're hurting people's feelings by declining them entry into your house or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
While it's a safety thing.
Yeah.
And we're all supposed to be doing that. It feels rude to do.
I agree.
It feels mean. It doesn't feel nice.
And actually the thing that we're at with COVID is that everybody has their own regulations and restrictions they're working by, and they feel like they're the most safest or the most smartest. And they don't always align with everybody else. No. And you kind of just have to, you can't take it personally because it is like, we got an invitation to the best restaurant in Columbus, because it had to be open. Yes. I would have went another time, but it's also, it has to be open. So they need people to sit there and eat the stuff. And that's not going to be me. That's not what I'm doing right now. I
turned it down too. Same invitation.
Right. And it's like, people aren't going to show up for holidays, but they also might go to the grocery store every couple of days because it makes them feel normal or something,
Yeah.
People, people still are doing some things. Like everyone has a totally different routine. The best thing not to do is frivolous shit like this,
Yeah,
This is a year... I mean, the delayed gratification, because next year could be the most epic holiday party of all fucking time, just the delayed gratification is there. Take the time off, do the Zoom, everybody drink a beer on Zoom, and that can be it.
Right. Yeah, that's weird though. I had a story.
Erica's done it.
Oh, she's done a happy hour?
Erica went to a virtual trade show, and they brought us a big deep dish pizza and a 6-pack of Goose Island beer.
They sent it to you?
They drove around the city and dropped them off at all the doorsteps. Nice. So we ate pizza and drank beer.
Good pizza?
Giordano's. It was good.
Yeah.
Giordano's is a good fucking frozen pizza.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not
I like
bad.
them.
I've had it.
I
should get one of
That's
those.
all we ate. Basically, I cut off like slivers. I'm talking about like a half-inch slice. And then I would eat it, and then I would wait 45 minutes and go eat again.
Yeah.
I did that for 12 hours.
Yeah, so this HR rep thinks you should ask about you could be pleasantly surprised about the planned precautions, not just for this event, but for those to come that may or may not be mandatory.
Yeah,
there aren't precautions unless it's outside and you're distancing. I can't think of a precaution that would make it okay. And if you're in California, you're in Florida or something like that, I guess go. I guess. I don't really understand it,
Yeah, I don't know. You can definitely get away with it. I wouldn't do it, but I also would expect a little bit of shit from it.
Yeah. However, if you do not have an underlying health condition, but you reasonably believe the event will be unsafe, you could have a right to refuse to attend under the OSHA.
Oh, you're fired for that. Yeah. You're fired if you do that.
Yeah,
you can politely say no and get fired 6 months from now, or bring in OSHA into it and be out by Christmas.
The only word they hate on the same way as union is OSHA. They hate both the word OSHA and the word union at all jobs, and you never say OSHA. Never. All right. I guess let's just do one of these real quick. I can't believe they're doing holiday parties though.
I know that is fucked up. If it's outside, still not good.
Yeah.
Still don't. But if you're honestly, if you're working all day with people, why wouldn't you go party with them?
Yeah, but if you're working on Zoom.
Oh yeah.
But
I didn't think they were going from Zoom to like the ski lodge.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this up this episode because something we talked about on the last episode that we can reiterate now. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
There's an update to that $2,000 tip.
She get a GoFundMe?
No, it's I'm kind of wondering if the gentleman that left the tip might have been doing some catch me if you can type shit.
Oh.
Like he was lying about how much money he had.
Oh.
I don't know if it's true, but someone who sent it? Some people in the chat, they knew who they are. Calm Presence was one of them. But they sent an update. The restaurant commented on the article and said, Ken's 5 did not tell the entire story. The tip was tried multiple times by management, by the owner, but it would not post. It was invalid. The gentleman was called and told the tip would not take, and we asked him to come back to the restaurant to pay in cash or the check. He said okay and hung up, but he did mention that he had a lot of money and owned 3 restaurants in San Antonio. But I don't want to trust the restaurant, but it is like, who knows now?
Yeah, I don't trust the restaurant anyway, but who knows, you know?
They also blaming it on Emily. They're saying that they're also blaming it on her, so they might just be straight lying.
Yeah. They blamed it on the worker. I'm taking the restaurants. I'm not taking the restaurants.
Okay, no, hold on. So wait, Emily is back. This is happening in the Facebook comments. So they said the gentleman called. We told Emily to contact the news, but she left out details.
What?
They said that.
Yeah.
They said that she's lying. Emily commented and said, I wasn't going to address this because I did not contact the news to harass my place of work. I contacted the news because you told me to. I did not lie about anything and I did not leave out anything. I told the truth in the whole story. They only chose to add what they wanted and edit out some of it.
Yeah.
And that's what the news does.
Yeah, that is what the news does. I mean, if the business had to think it was going to come off a little bit bad.
In the video I said it says it's invalid. It's invalid. So the reporter was lying?
Who knows? This seems like
this is why
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust anybody anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I trust her.
I'm sure that somebody I think now it just seems like some asshole was like, you know what? It's on me, honey. Here's $2,000.
Yeah.
Just to get that pop of her being like,
feels good.
He was probably watching through the windows and stuff, watching her like shed a tear.
Growing up with my mom, I know that thing. You know what I mean? That giving somebody something.
Lying about the gift to get their
to get
happiness.
The dopamine that you get from being like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to get this. And then later on just being like, nope, you didn't get it.
Well, Emily Bauer is on Facebook, so that means I can message her. So let's see if we can get those kids some Christmas.
Yeah, let's get them kids some fucking Christmas. I mean, if she's a waitress during, if she's a server during COVID, those kids ain't getting a Christmas no matter what. You know? Right. Something I wanted to talk about a little bit is restaurants being closed and me trying to get over my trepidation about ghost kitchens. Ooh. Like do you order from ghost kitchens? I feel like no, I'm not going to do that.
I don't at all because I think it's mostly for people that are like scanning Grubhub for something to eat. But I already know the people around me that make good food, so I've really just transferred to ordering from them.
Well, you did, yeah, I want to do that too. But you did bring up something about an egg place that is a ghost kitchen.
It's a ghost kitchen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I read the restaurant. I did see there's one on 11th Avenue. Also in Sandwich Connoisseur, someone was like, how are there 4 restaurants that all have the same business? There's one called like Fuck Gluten. That is. Oh,
is Bitch Don't Grill My Cheese?
Yes,
part of that?
Yes, it's a whole collective. There's like 40 fucking shops in there, and someone
That's
does
the ghost kitchen.
It is absolutely. It's on 11th. People didn't know what it was, and they were like, are these people just like making up different menus for different people? And it's like, well, that is a good idea, actually.
More listings on Grubhub makes it so.
Well, the horrible late night slice place in town has a vegan pizza restaurant now that runs out of their same Grandview location.
I don't trust it. I'm going to tell you, man. You were bringing this up. It's like ghost kitchens in theory, you would think should be cheaper.
but they're not. They're already marked up
Right.
before you get marked up by Grubhub or DoorDash or whatever.
Well, it's like when we were looking at office spaces, which fucking thank every fucking deity in the world that we don't have an office space bill right
that
now.
we can't go to.
Yeah. But we were looking at, we were like, what's up with this co-working spaces? And they wanted $1,700 a month for 500 square feet for that community office and like IPAs in cold brew on tap. So that would have been reflected in the business cost. If we were paying $1,700 a month for rent right now, that would reflect on the Patreon and the T-shirts and everywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's the same with those ghost kitchens, is that it is, I'm sure you do probably need $250,000 to open a restaurant or more to at least sign the numbers on the paper to get
Do ghost kitchen though?
No, to do a restaurant.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And in the same way, that movie Chef, good movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's really
Been thinking
good.
about watching it.
It's good. It's heartwarming. You have a kid, it's good. It's teaching your kid about your trade and showing them appreciation of life and all that stuff. It's a great movie.
Okay.
But 2009, when the stock market crashed, these food trucks were the answer to that. Everybody was like, I've got 10 grand. I can just buy a fucking truck and sell a grilled cheese for 10 times the amount it costs to make. And now we've moved beyond that, where now it's like, I don't have I can't buy a truck. I can sign up for a monthly payment to rent space to make these sandwiches that I make.
To rent a kitchen. Well, I went to a ghost kitchen to pick up food recently.
Oh, really?
Is
there like...
There is a sandwich place called Capriati's.
That's not a ghost kitchen.
It is in Columbus.
Oh, it really
It's
is?
a ghost kitchen.
You can't...
Yeah.
Oh, well,
You can't go to a Capriati's. You can order Capriati's and pick it up at a ghost kitchen.
In Dallas, you can go and eat there. We ate there all the time.
Yeah, that's why I got it. That's why I have had it a few times, because you can go and pick it up. And I went into this place that is a ghost kitchen, and it was so fucking depressing to be in this place, because it was like there's nobody there. It's all Uber and Lyft drivers just walking in and picking up the food. And it's really like...
It's just a warehouse.
It is a warehouse. It is kind of a warehouse. Yes, it's a warehouse. That's what it is. And it was... I don't know, man. I don't trust the people that run them, is the thing. It's not that I don't trust... I feel like the people that are running them are a little shady. Again, they're trying to get more listings on the app, which is a weird thing. I don't like the name Bitch Don't Grill My Cheese.
Yeah.
As a fucking restaurant. I'm not going to eat that, or fuck gluten, or eggs AF. Yeah.
That's our generation.
Eggs AF charges $7 for an egg sandwich.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at
That's
that.
New York prices.
Yeah,
That's what you pay for a New York sandwich.
they're in the future. They're playing that New York rent already.
That's
to
true.
make that fucking egg sandwich.
In a goddamn fucking ghost kitchen,
Yeah.
where the rent has to be a lot less.
I've like I have a 7-year-old. I have one car. My wife has been at work regularly. Taco Bell is a treat. Getting Taco Bell delivered is so crazy. Just
Really?
There's
It's like pizza.
no, because it's like $1.92 delivery fee, 81 cents convenience charge, $4.54 delivery fee. Like, there's so many fees by the time you get done with it.
It's $40.
It's $40. It's $28 to get Taco Bell.
Yeah, $22 for one meal for one person. I think when you're using those apps,
It's fucking absurd that like me and my wife, I think this was 10 years ago, whenever we decided, like, we're not going to buy food from a restaurant that we can make at home. Like, we were never in, like, I don't go and buy toast and eggs from anybody. I can do that.
It's like easy food.
I know. Egg sandwich, you should have a personal relationship with eggs because you can only make them how you like them, and no one else will ever like them how you make them.
Yeah, okay. I don't like them at all.
Sure. But, like, I have to make them... I have 3 people in my house, I make them 3 different ways. I have 10 people in my house, I make them 10 different ways. Nobody likes them the same. You don't have a $7 egg sandwich. And it's crazy because it's a $7 egg sandwich and then there's $10 in Grubhub fees. Or maybe they're paying $10 a month for the Grubhub premium service, which you don't have to pay fees, but you do have to pay some fees.
Well, and also you have to pay the premium service.
Right, you're
every
paying...
month. You pay the $10 a month. I mean,
the Grubhubs drive... Instacart is driving me crazy because they used to sell those like memberships, and then now they added new fees on. The membership was like you don't ever pay fees if you pay for a membership, and then now it's like, oh, these are assembly fees.
Yeah.
These aren't delivery fees. These are just to like assemble it.
These apps are killing us. I wonder what happens when COVID's over. Like do they keep growing? Because that's what's got them. And I don't think any of them are profitable now. Like, I don't think any of them are making money now.
Columbus just passed a law that says that they can't take, to limit the amount of money they can take. Because they had the dude from Pat and Gracie's that was like, anything you buy from me, take 30% off of that. That's what Grubhub and DoorDash are taking, and Caviar. Like, I pay, whatever price you see, I'm getting 30%.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. I'm getting 70%. They're taking 30%.
Shit.
So still, $10 egg sandwich, they're getting $7. Poor guys.
These motherfuckers. I gotta stop ordering from the apps then. It's
tough. I mean, I don't know. It's also, but then there's like,
I don't want to
the desperate people that need $7. People that are at home just like wishing for money and we need $7, and we're the only good tippers on the app. We're the only person that's like 15% is only $1.50. No, it's $5. You know?
Yeah. I try to tip really well on that app. Well, that's the show. It was a good time. I think we all had a great time.
Everybody involved.
And you got a flub. Let's promote this. On December 29th, okay, first of all, I'm going to promote 2 things before we get out of here. So you can either stop it or you can find out what's coming soon. This week, at the end of the week, you will get the first episode of a show that we are calling Buttfest 2000.
Fun.
I couldn't come up with a name, and Alex came up with that. And he got me by doing 2000 because it's very funny to name something 2000 in 2020. Because, man, before 2000.
Yes. But there was so much promise.
And they got everything 2000.
We were hungrily waiting to get to 2000 when it would be the future and everything would be great.
Yeah. And it was just like your rock bands. There were a lot of albums with 2000 at the end of it. Or like, www.something.com too was the other big thing. What this show is we're going to learn about butt rock. I don't know what that genre is. Okay? I'm gaining it, but what we're going to do is I'm going to gain a knowledge and I'm going to learn what that music is. I'm going to learn about the people who make that music by listening to interviews with them. And I'm going to learn a little bit about the music. And that's on our Patreon. That is the new mini-series. Shocktober is over. But
rock.
December 29th, the Street Fight Shock Jock Super Stream I'm doing. Me and Chris are going to burn through my back catalog of Shock Jock video content. We're going to take your phone calls and we're just going to have a damned old time. That's on December 29th. It's either going to be at 8 or 9. Obviously there will be a lot more promotion of this as it goes. And, please come and watch it. I think, people like the Shock Jock content. I can tell you that I have Man-Cow going into the woods to confront Satanists. That's one of the videos I have. Yeah, I have videos of all kinds of things. We're going to take your phone calls. You'll be able to call in now. The deal that with Street Fight for the call-in show is that we will take every call. Okay? That's what we try to do, at the very least. And then sometimes we might have to hang up on you, but we're not going to take every call on this show. This is Shock Jock rules. We're just going to take calls. I don't know how many calls. We could take 3 calls. We could take 15 calls. But we're going to take calls. And watch videos and stream. It's going to be really fun. And you should come and watch it with us. Watch these videos with us and have a good, pleasurable time doing it. And that'll probably be the last Shock Jock content for a while. But I think D&D will come in January. So
yes,
more streams, baby. More streams.
I'm going to go watch Moxie Cotton play D&D this Saturday so I can get an idea of what the hell we're getting ourselves into and what it's going to look like and everything.
I got so many DMs. Or not DMs. I got a lot of mentions and a few DMs saying, like, you making your D&D character makes me want to watch you guys play D&D. Wow, my D&D character was really cool. You want me to tell you its name?
Sure.
I mean, I did describe it on the call-in show, so you can hear it then. Are you ready for this name?
Yep.
Brett Payne.
What? No.
P-A-I-N, though.
Why?
Because you know I like the name Brett. When I was growing up, I'm trying to live my fantasy. And Payne,
okay.
P-A-I-N, is a pretty cool thing. So my character's name is going to be Brett Payne. I came up with that on my own.
I like that. I'm flattered. That's the Brett Payne I would like to be, really.
The guy that wrote Bad to the Bone is the Brett Payne you're like.
Oh, yeah. I would have loved to write Bad to the Bone.
George Thurgood. All right. That's it.
So look forward to that. It's coming. If you want to listen to Buttfest 2000, they just recorded that episode. It'll be available on patreon.com/streetfightradio for $5 a month. The Alcohol Zine just came out. It's available on Patreon. It's $3 a month. You can add it on to the audio for $8 a month or get the physical version sent, whatever you wish. That is all at patreon.com/streetfightradio. We appreciate everybody that has participated and helped us out and to get this far. We'll continue to spread this mess across the U.S., and we'll see you on Sunday for the call-in show. Peace.